get right. Let's 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 get right. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Dilla T. And this is No Filters. Always appreciate you hitting that like button from me. Subscribing to the channel so you don't miss an episode. And sharing this with the world. And of course, family, when you come in, get comfortable. Get you something to eat. Get you something to drink. Get you something to smoke if that's what you do. You see the title. You know who in here. Let's get into this here.
Breaking news tonight. The FBI says the Charlie Kirk conspiracy
All my
theories
family in the
are
building.
legit.
What
That's
we
the
doing,
first time
family?
we've ever heard that?
You already know what it is, man. Nene Lewis, Heavy TV in the building. Roof. What we doing? Roof, you early. Let's act like we know. Lori. What we doing, fam? We all good in here. Let's get right.
Conspiracy theories
Let's get right.
The murder.
Skeptic,
Kirk.
where you been?
The suspect's male lover.
Let's get right. Get comfortable. Get you eating your drink together.
This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Let's go, CC. I see you in the building, fam. I appreciate you putting in. Get comfortable. Get comfortable. Let's get right. Let's get real. Let's get together. Mona in the building. We got you coming. Get yourself together.
The brightest lights of our times.
You seen the title. You know what it is. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'm about to cut.
Breaking news tonight. The FBI says the Charlie Kirk conspiracy theories are legit. That's the first time we've ever heard that from the government. Think about it. JFK, UFOs, it goes on and on and on. But tonight, Kash Patel says he is actually investigating the many conspiracy theories surrounding the murder of Charlie Kirk. This as the suspect's male lover is eyed. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Did y'all hear that, fam? Hit that like button, subscribe. They about to cook for real. You better get your drink, better get you something to eat, better get comfy, Roof. Roll it up, Roof. Together. Time to get to work. Let's get to work.
2 weeks ago, our country was robbed of one of the brightest lights of our times.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life.
Kirk's wife, Erica, wowing the crowd and sending a message like no other. This as Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, is literally chasing down conspiracy theories. Listen.
FBI Director Patel now investigating conspiracy theories about Charlie Kirk's murder. Patel was able to dismiss a theory a pilot was involved because they turned off their transponder moments after the shooting, but says others could be credible. They include theories about accomplices, authenticity of the text conversation between Robinson and his roommate, the bullet's trajectory, and even why Kirk, who normally wears black, was clad in white that day.
You know, I've never...
Shout out to Mona with the $7 donation in the Cash App. Let me know if that's for your shirt. You going after another one? Let me know, Mona.
State that they will be investigated. With me an all-star panel to make sense of what we are learning tonight in the Charlie Kirk shooting. Straight out to Victoria Churchill joining us from Washington, U.S. political reporter, DailyMail.com. Victoria, what is Patel saying?
I think Director Patel is saying that he wants to explore everything and anything connected to this, but this should come as no surprise because Patel considered Kirk a close friend, an ally in the MAGA movement and the greater conservative movement. But
Nikki Love, where you been?
Director Patel and the FBI.
Notifications on all. We're gonna press you. Make sure you're here with us. I appreciate
this investigation, despite what they have said, because of course Robinson was turned in by his own father. There was, I believe.
Hold on, little lady. Whoa. They had the suspect in custody within 33 hours. Take a look at your crime stats. That rarely happens. So, A lot was made, Victoria Churchill, of the arrest of two individuals, one claiming, I did it. Of course they arrested him. He was cleared. Then another. So explain to me your reasoning.
So the first individual is somebody who I have heard from people that have actually been active in Utah politics, conservative politics in particular in Utah, that this is somebody that is a known agitator. And so I think there was no surprise that he was there. But he also went in for questioning. But again, this is somebody that didn't like conservatives. So maybe he wanted to claim, for some crazy reason, I don't know why he would want to do this, but he possibly wanted to claim responsibility for this. But again, Robinson was turned in by his own father. So at least at this point, we don't know how close the FBI would have been to finding him if he was not submitted by his own father to the authorities.
Guys, conspiracy theories, as they are being called, are now being taken as legitimate avenues of investigation, starting with a lot of hand signals. Listen.
Eagle-eyed internet sleuths zeroed in on the behavior of Kirk's attendants just before he was shot. A man standing 6 feet from Kirk in a white shirt and white baseball cap is seen recording the debate on his phone. Seconds before the shot, that man tips his cap, then wipes his nose. A second man in a black shirt glances at the man as he adjusts his white cap, then touches his right arm before folding his arms. Many theorize the hand signals were indications to the shooter.
Okay, that was investigated, and this is what we found. Listen.
The man in the white hat was giving signals to the shooter. Yeah, the man in the white hat was me, okay?
Woo!
I did this with my hat. Maybe I touched my nose or something while I'm holding my phone because I'm FaceTiming my son and daughter-in-law. Charlie Kirk was literally like a son to me. I have 3 sons. He was like my 4th son. My 3 sons are a little bit older than Charlie. He was like my 4th son. So when he was hit, Charlie wasn't there. His eyes were fixed. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking past me right into eternity. He was with Jesus already.
That is my friends over at Cross Examined, the podcast. And speaking is Frank Turek. Let's see that video again. He is the guy wearing the hat who is making hand signals just before Kirk is murdered. Just before. And you see the other guy in the blue.
You know what? For some real ones in the back that don't know what's going on and what's real, my dog Damien Charles just pulled up talking about rewind it back. Let me do that for you, but you the only one that can get that request because you just pulled up because I'm about to tell you to make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. Because we cooking in here, you and your boy Dealer T. With my family, no filters. Everybody say what's up to Damien in here. Let them know we in here live and real. Let's get real. You know what's going on. You see the title. You see the donations. Shout out to Mona with the $7 donation to Super Chat. She earned it. She ain't playing with nobody. She won the first month. And Big Tone, get right, get real, act like you know what's going on. Let's go.
Less than 2 weeks ago, our country was robbed of one of the brightest lights of our times.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life.
Kirk's wife, Erica, wowing the crowd and sending a message like no other. This as Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, is literally chasing down conspiracy theories. Listen.
FBI Director Patel now investigating conspiracy theories about Charlie Kirk's murder. Patel was able to dismiss a theory a pilot was involved because they turned off their transponder moments after the shooting, but says others could be credible. They include theories about accomplices, authenticity of the text conversation between Robinson and his roommate, the bullet's trajectory, and even why Kirk, who normally wears black, was clad in white that day.
You know, I've never heard the government even acknowledge conspiracy theories, much less state that they will be investigated. with me an all-star panel to make sense of what we are learning tonight in the Charlie Kirk shooting. Straight out to Victoria Churchill joining us from Washington, U.S. political reporter, dailymail.com. Victoria, what is Patel saying?
I think Director Patel is saying that he wants to explore everything and anything connected to this, but this should come as no surprise because Patel considered Kirk a close friend, an ally in the MAGA movement and the greater conservative movement. But I also do want to point out that Director Patel and the FBI as a whole maybe have not necessarily been at the forefront of this investigation, despite what they have said, because of course, Robinson was turned in by his own father. There was, I believe...
Hold on, little lady. Whoa. They had the suspect in custody within 33 hours. Take a look at your crime stats. That rarely happens. So, a lot was made, Victoria Churchill, of the arrest of two individuals, one claiming, I did it. Of course, they arrested him. He was cleared. Then another. So, explain to me your reasoning.
What a t-shirt can't be.
I'm sure like we're here. Who I have heard from people that have actually been active in Utah politics, conservative politics in particular in Utah, that this is somebody that is a known agitator. And so I think there was no surprise that he was there. But he also went in for questioning. But again, this is somebody that didn't like conservatives. So maybe he wanted to claim for some crazy reason. I don't know why he would want to do this, but he possibly wanted to claim responsibility for this. But again, Robinson was turned in by his own father. So at least at this point, we don't know how close the FBI would have been to finding him if he was not submitted by his own father to the authorities.
Guys, conspiracy theories, as they are being called, are now being taken as legitimate avenues of investigation, starting with a lot of hand signals. Listen.
Eagle-eyed internet sleuths zeroed in on the behavior of Kirk's attendants just before he was shot. A man standing 6 feet from Kirk in a white shirt and white baseball cap is seen recording the debate on his phone. Seconds before the shot, that man tips his cap, then wipes his nose. A second man in a black shirt glances at the man as he adjusts his white cap, then touches his right arm before folding his arms. Many theorize the hand signals were indications to the shooter.
Okay, that was investigated, and this is what we found. Listen.
The man in the white hat was giving signals to the shooter. Yeah, the man in the white hat was me, okay? I did this with my hat. Maybe I touched my nose or something while I'm holding my phone because I'm FaceTiming my son and daughter-in-law. Charlie Kirk was literally like a son to me. I have 3 sons. He was like my 4th son. My 3 sons are a little bit older.
What?
He was like my 4th son. So when he was hit,
Man tips his cap, then wipes his nose. A second man in a black shirt glances at the man as he adjusts his white cap, then touches his right arm before folding his arms. Many theorize the hand signals were indications to the shooter.
Okay, that was investigated, and this is what we found. Listen.
The man in the white hat was giving signals to the shooter. Yeah, the man in the white hat was me, okay? I did this with my hat. Maybe I touched my nose or something while I'm holding my phone because I'm FaceTiming my son and daughter-in-law. Charlie Kirk was literally like a son to me. I have 3 sons. He was like my 4th son. My 3 sons are a little bit older than Charlie. He was like my 4th son. So when he was hit, if your son got hit, what would you do? What would you do? Charlie wasn't there. His eyes were fixed. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking past me right into eternity. He was with Jesus already.
And that is from our friends over at Cross Examined, the podcast. And speaking is Frank Turek. Let's see that video again. He is the guy wearing the hat who is making hand signals just before Kirk is murdered. Just before. And you see the other guy in the blue, navy, or black t-shirt, he's making movements as well. So, straight out to Franz Borghardt joining us. founder of Borghardt Law Firm, former prosecutor, professor at Louisiana State University. Franz, thank you for being with us. You know what? So one theory shot down pretty quickly, and that bodes ill for the others, but they've got to be investigated. Have you ever had a crazy theory pop up in the middle of a trial or during trial prep? For instance, like a false confession. You have to chase it down.
So as a defense attorney, I love crazy theories, Nancy, because it creates chaos and it gives me something to work with, especially in cases where it's an open and shut like this one. We know who shot Kirk. We know we got the right guy, right? And we can claim that these individuals behind him are making hand gestures, doing the Macarena, whatever, but conspiracy doesn't change the facts. And yeah, you're absolutely right. They have to vet it. They have to investigate it. I just don't like the head of the FBI making tweets about it because, again, it's giving fuel to the absurd.
Okay, wait, let me understand this. Franz Borghardt doesn't like the director of the FBI's tweets. Oh, okay, you and about half the nation. Do you think he cares that Franz Borghardt or anybody doesn't like his tweets? What's wrong with his tweets? He's just putting it out there. We're used to so much secrecy within the government. So what's your problem?
He can tweet all he wants. The problem is, does he have an active knowledge of the investigation? And if he doesn't, his tweets create defenses. So as someone in the criminal justice system, I only want people making informational exchanges that have active fingers on the pulse of the investigation. And heaven forbid, he's just making a tweet about conspiracies and he doesn't really have it. And look, the head of agencies don't always have their fingers on the pulse.
Franz, we don't know what he knows or doesn't know, okay? He may know. I'm willing to guess he knows more about the Kirk investigation than...
Oh, let me tell you what's real. Let me tell you what's real. See, when fam get to talking real-ish, we got to address it. Hit that like button, subscribe, because we cooking it. You don't get a chance to get this unless you become a subscriber and hit that notification bell on all. You don't get a chance to be enlightened. You don't get a chance to get real. You don't get a chance to step outside of that fake shit you on and have a voice to be real. You know how many people want to say something but scared? How many people want to speak up but ain't got nothing to... Do you know how many people want to call it a duck but you scared to call it a duck? Shout out to Skeptic, just said, welcome Holy Spirit, we are in your presence. See, it's a difference when we speaking about Jesus, Yahshua, Holy Spirit, God, Almighty. But you need to know what you're addressing when you're speaking and talking about Holy Spirit when you're present, because you need to understand something. Lord, we thank you for all things. We have to ask God to come in the midst. Because you know, you get 2 or 3 gathered in his name, he come in the midst. It's a difference. Man, you got to thank God for that just alone. Hit that like button, subscribe, because you're going to learn something today. You're going to get the chance. You get the chance to learn something. You hear me? You pull up here at DLT, my fam, and No Filters. That was Skeptic. That was fam. That wasn't me. That was fam. You get a chance to learn something. So when I say you're here with DLT and my fam, and this is No Filters, I mean when I say it. I don't take the credit. You get a chance to win one of these right here, right now. I don't know if you know what you're looking at, but you get a chance to win right now. A No Filters merchandise classic thread. You hear me? You get a chance signed by your boy Dilla T. All you got to do is put $2 in the donation in the cash app. Let me say that again for the people in the back. $2 in the cash app. Or get you any shirt of color that you want signed by your boy Dilla T. Shout out to Mona. Shout out to Tone, the t-shirt champ. They won the month of August. They shirts then pulled up on them. Trust me, when they get them, they gonna take pictures and let you know it's really real here with my family. We ain't playing no games. Hit that like button, subscribe. We're looking at a situation where everything has unfolded, and now we know that we're here to inform, understand, and be aware. That what? If it, then what is it? Tell somebody right now, Lori, in the comments. Tell them, Lori. Tell them what it is right now. I thought you would. Let's get right. Let's get real.
Rule number 1 from the elected district attorney who I worked for, who was, I believe, the greatest elected district attorney in the country, served 37 years, longest at that time. Don't speak to the press. It's not that the press are a multi-headed hydra. It's that you commit yourself to a theory, you put it out there, and that could change. You only hurt your case. So, from me and you to Patel, shut your pie hole right now. These leads may in fact be legitimate. We don't know that yet, but this hand signal thing, that was all BS, technical legal term. Okay, let's move on to the next one, and it has to do with the trajectory angle. Listen.
Online sleuths are also hung up on the bullet's trajectory since their video of the shooting is still widely available online. Many believe Kirk was wearing a bulletproof vest, and the bullet fractured against the vest, sending a fragment into his neck. Others believe the shot ricocheted off the Turning Point banner behind him, and what was caught on camera was the bullet exiting from the front of his neck. In an emotional tribute at his memorial, Erica Kirk said doctors told her, if Charlie had been shot in an operating room, it wouldn't have made a difference, claiming Kirk was gone instantaneously.
Hi guys, Nancy Grace here. The Fed has finally dropped interest rates, and that's great news for American homeowners. Wages are flat, prices keep climbing, and for many people, the only way to make ends average of $800 a month. If you get started at the get-go, too. Joe Scott Morgan joining us, professor of forensics, Jacksonville State University, author of Blood Beneath My Feet on Amazon, star of a hit podcast series, Body Bags with Joe Scott Morgan. For my purposes, a death investigator with over 1,000 death scenes under his belt, all sorts, accidental, natural causes, undetermined, suicide, and, of course, homicide. Joe Scott, day one, we knew or had surmised there was no exit wound. There's no conspiracy to that.
No, there's not. And if that is the idea here, just follow my logic. You're going to have to get the surgeon who attended him at the emergency room, at the hospital where he was evacuated to, and you're also going to have to get the
shout out to Nikki Love with the $2 donation in the chat with the raffle
involved in this case to get on board also relative to all of this. What we're hearing right now is that this is a single.
Shout out to Lisa Willis with the $2 donation to contest raffle.
That the round was actually found beneath.
Shout out to you, Lisa. I appreciate you being a subscriber.
This is such a mystery. I don't know why people say that this is an empirical impossibility. Nancy, I've handled a lot of gunshot wounds involving high velocity rounds where the bullet does not completely exit the body. It just doesn't happen every single time. So everybody out there
hold on,
who's
just
happy,
I would say the majority of homicide cases I have investigated or prosecuted have at least one bullet still in the body. So I don't understand the uproar about the fact that his bullet lodged in his neck. First of all, how could it have lodged in the neck? For me, it's standard operating procedure that at least one bullet stays in the body. And I'm glad. I mean, if you can make a silver lining out of a murder, I'm glad the bullet was retrieved from the body, because the next thing we would know would be a conspiracy theory that that's not the real bullet you found on the ground. That's not it.
Yeah,
that was placed there.
Even if it fragmented, if you have the base of the round, you can take that base of the round and do the testing based upon the rifle that they did in fact recover. And look, if it doesn't match up, fine and good. Go look for another rifle out there. But if the rifling on this round that was recovered at autopsy, which would have been at the Utah State Medical Examiner's office, which, let me reinforce again, is a fine organization and are now being accused by people online as being part of a grander conspiracy. If that round was recovered at autopsy, it'll be compared ballistically. It'll be compared either at the State Crime Lab in Utah, or it'll be compared at Quantico with the FBI's resources that they have there. We still don't even have an autopsy report yet. Let me tell you another bit of reporting that will come out. Also, there will be surgical notes. So if people have questions about this random surgeon that was on duty, he will write up a report based
Shout out to
on
Lisa, I appreciate you.
in his examination of Charlie Kirk at that moment, immediately after this had happened. He will talk about this in great detail. Those records will be with the state medical examiner. They would have reviewed them. They will give their own opinion about this. And I can tell you there was more than one forensic pathologist in that room while his examination would have been done. There would have been multiple eyes on this case.
Joining us shortly, a ballistics expert to show us and explain to us all about the weapon, the Mauser that was used to kill Charlie Kirk, and the bizarre engravings on the bullet, and exactly how this shot could have gone down without a conspiracy, a group of people helping the shooter. Is it rational? Don't know. We'll hear from Cole Lormore in just one moment, but first to Dr. Bethany Marshall, renowned psychoanalyst joining us out of the Beverly Hills jurisdiction, author of Deal Breaker. You can see her now on Peacock, and you can find her at drbethanymarshall.com. Dr. Bethany, here's the deal. Yes, some of these theories are falling through. I'm curious, why can't they just accept the truth? Why does there have to be a conspiracy? You know, when Joe Scott and I went to the scene in Texas where JFK was shot, and I examined it for myself, and I reviewed the video, I always thought that's just a bunch of hogwash conspiracy. But when I saw JFK's head go forward from a shot, then backwards from another shot, I will tell you, it stopped me in my tracks. Also, can we think about Gabby Petito for one moment? If it had not been for an online sleuth, Red, Blue, and Methane, I believe was their name, who had been following Gabby's disappearance online, and they saw her white Ford Transit parked in dispersed camping, which is in the middle of nowhere, not a porta potty, not a water hookup, no lights, nothing, out there with the coyotes and the critters. They saw that by happenstance, and they solved the case, the mystery as to where her remains were. So before we poo-poo conspiracy theorists, let's keep that in mind. But my question to you, Dr. Bethany, is why can't people, for instance, as Joe Scott was saying, accept the bullet did not exit his neck? Bam! What's with the conspiracy theories?
And one of those conspiracies about why the bullet did not exit his neck is that he was out there to save people, and even in death, he saved.
You better shut up in here! Your dumb ass talking about it ain't in his neck. Hit that like button, subscribe, you know what's real. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel for another Real Talk episode. It brings me no pleasure today to continue the discussion of the Charlie Kirk assassination. Obviously a horrific and tragic event. And the last video I put out on this attracted a whole hell of a lot more of attention than I ever expected. So thank you to every single one of you guys who liked and commented and shared that video. At the time when I put it out, I was 100% convinced of certain things, that we may have new evidence contradicting directly. Actually, we do have new evidence directly contradicting one of the main claims in that video. I don't think it absolutely negates all the other claims, but we're going to go through that and discuss it today and show you guys exactly what the counterpoints were to my argument. And I really don't even want to call it my argument. It's just a theory. I'm not married to any one theory, guys. I'm out here trying to discover the truth just like all of you are. And if I am wrong in that theory, in that video that I put out, I will be more than willing to admit that I'm wrong and show the evidence and the proof that I was incorrect and set the record straight. So today we're going to talk about it. Again, I don't think this evidence disproves that theory of Charlie getting shot from his back right completely, but it does disprove one part of it, I believe, which is the blood splatter that I believed I was seeing. Turns out it's most likely Charlie's necklace. And let's just go ahead and show you guys the footage here. So Jesse on Fire he showed my video, the one that you guys have all seen by now. and he is showing this new camera angle. Again, I saw this camera angle, but it was much more blurry when I saw it, and I wasn't 100% sold on it at the time. People were saying it was an earpiece, but I had seen multiple other videos. Let me show you guys that first, because I don't know what this guy's name is, but I'll put it in the description below. But he has a very good analysis, and I watched this after I posted my video, to be very clear. I had never seen this angle before, or this hypothesis of the earpiece, but after I posted the video, I watched this video where he goes through and talks about how he does not see any earpiece on Charlie Kirk, and I concur. I agree with him in his analysis, because you could see it on a security guard, you can see it on a security team, but you cannot see it on Charlie himself. As you can see right here, he points out that a security team is wearing an earpiece, and you'd be able to clearly see it from this angle. Maybe not from the front or even from the side as much, but from the back here, you'd be able to clearly see the earpiece, and he does show, you can see again here, he's showing a very clear angle. There is no earpiece. So without dragging this issue out any further and alluding to an earpiece, and there being an earpiece or not being, there was not an earpiece. It's been confirmed by Candace Owens, and she confirmed he was also not wearing body armor. So those are two facts, if you want to call them that. She was told directly by TPUSA or by Eric, I can't remember, by trusted sources, that he was not wearing an earpiece and he was not wearing body armor. So if you believe that, I clearly don't see an earpiece, so that's very simple and easy for me to believe that. So most likely what we see blow off, and what I was thinking and what I was calling blood splatter from the back right side of Charlie's head, is most likely his necklace. And it looks and seems to me that it has broken apart right here. Let's let this skip ahead a little bit, and you'll see, there it is. You can see it's broken apart. So I paused it perfectly here where you can see his chain clearly snaps off down here in the front. So it lifts his shirt up in the front and lifts his shirt up in the back. It snaps and it comes up and it looks like an earpiece because of that angle on it. Also, this would correspond with the video footage that I showed as the blood splatter, because you can see how it's bent that way, and it could be bent down and then it will be bent up here in just a second. Obviously it's going too fast for this video, this camera angle to catch it. And then it continues on back, and you can see it back here again, this line right here across this gentleman's shirt. You can very clearly see a wire, which people were assuming was the earpiece, but it's very clearly his necklace. So was it the shock wave of Charlie's neck being hit either from the front or his neck and head being hit from the back that simply lifted up the shirt in the back? Or was it the chain? I would say it's probably the chain based off of what we saw in the front, which is very clearly his chain breaking and lifting up his shirt. So I think it's more likely that puff in the back that Jesse's attributing to the like inertia from the bullet hitting him in the neck, like pushing his back, like the back of his shirt out. It just doesn't make any sense, because the bullet, according to the official narrative, does not have an exit wound. It was found directly under his skin, which is another thing we need to discuss. The man of steel theory, which is like gaslighting at its finest. But I just don't see that puff as being attributed to confirming that the shot was from the front. I just don't see the logic in that, right? We're not really trying to stretch the imagination. That's what the official narrative is doing. I'm trying to explain it in the simplest terms. Occam's razor, what is most likely to have caused this in the way that we saw it? And that in the front seemed to me to be pretty definitively an exit wound. But we're going to talk about all of the evidence for and against the original theory, right? Because the original theory was that we saw that gush of blood out the back right side of Charlie's head. Now we can see that that's not blood. In fact, that's his necklace. So we're kind of back to square one. We don't have any like 100% smoking gun proof at this point, because that's confirmed to not be a blood splatter there. But we're going to talk about, again, both reasons for and against the theory that he was shot in the back, and for and against, again, that he was shot in the front of the neck. And I'm going to do my best to address these guys. Again, I had so much coming in. A lifetime is not enough time to address every single one of these. So we also talked about body armor. Candace Owens has dispelled the body armor claim. The Bush shooter. Okay, so in this portion of the video, I take a random photo from the internet here, and I put this guy here to show what it would look like if this image had been cleared up, and if in fact there was a person sitting there with a rifle aiming down at Charlie. This is not a depixelated version of what is here. This is not like in the movies when you see like enhance, and just like this emerges from this blur. That's just not how photos work. This is something that I got off the internet for reference for you guys. This has nothing to do, this man was never at the crime scene, neither was his rifle, and a lot of other evidence points to it happening from over here much lower. In fact, if the FBI came out with a convincing story that was actually like somewhat believable, I don't think I would have ever even gone down this path. I'm not a political channel, I talk about guns here on the channel, so.
That's the point. Hit that like button, subscribe, and we cooking in here. Y'all need to know what's going on. I bet you ain't gonna realize what this is right here. I bet you ain't gonna realize what this is right here. Hit your like button and subscribe. Don't get scared. No, don't get scared. Put your ears on, your eyes on, listen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, my Golly Vibes family, I'm about to share some information with you guys that is going to blow your mind, especially those who don't believe in these type of things. It has to do with Charlie Kirk and some witches. Now,
no, one in water, you don't get to get scared, fam. You a warrior. Yeah, Nikki, look, air forms, you don't get to be scared, fam. Listen, watch this. You hear me? You better get some juice, water, soda, drink. And if you smoking, you better be good. Because I don't want to blow your highs. So I'm telling you right now, Ed, get you something to eat, drink, something to smoke, bang, fam. Because I'm telling you, it's about to get real. Lori, I pray all of y'all comfortable right now. I'm the one sitting here in this motion right now, but y'all at the crib. Think about it. You at the bridge. You can just be leg stretch, arm break. Are we ready? Liz are ready. Are we ready? Let me know if we ready right now, because I'm telling you, this right here, I'm about to press play on this. When I press play on this, you right, Josh Beasley, hit that like button, subscribe, because that's real. That's what I say. I'll wait on them. Let me know, are we ready? Let me know. Quick one, ready. We ready. We ready. I feel like fans say we ready. We ready. Let's go. Eyes, ears. Now, get your drink. Get your smoke.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, my Golly Vibes family, I'm about to share some information with you guys that is going to blow your mind, especially those who don't believe in these type of things. It has to do with Charlie Kirk and some witches. Now, I seen this when the assassination first happened. I seen it on the day of, right? I seen this on the day of. My friend sent this to me the day that this happened, okay? It was witches who made a spell. They paid for a spell to get on Charlie Kirk's life. But I'm bringing it up now because Megyn Kelly just brought it up on her show. Right? She brought it up on her show. For I really didn't bring it up. There was so much going on that
Come here.
Bring it up. But now we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna show you a video of Megyn Kelly and her breaking down the story of what happened, because many people don't know this, but Charlie Kirk's wife actually seen this before all of us, I guess. You know, she must have been looking for different things as far as, you know, trying to protect Charlie. And she's seen these witches put a spell on Charlie. So for protection, Erica Kirk called over a friend. Let's just go ahead and read exactly what it is. The night before Charlie Kirk was murdered, Erica Kirk called a friend to come over to their house to pray for Charlie after feminist website Jezebel paid witches on Etsy to curse him. Jezebel bragged just 2 days before Charlie was assassinated about how they paid for multiple curses to punish him. One of the curses was reportedly paid for on August 23rd, and the witch promised that the results would be noticed in 2 to 3 weeks. Wow. Charlie was killed 2.5 weeks later. Erica and Charlie heard about these curses, and that news genuinely rattled Erica in particular. So much so that she and Charlie contacted a friend and asked him to come over and pray with them over Charlie the night before he was murdered. Pure evil. Pure evil. Let's go ahead and check out the clip of Megyn Kelly breaking this down. Stay here though, because I want to show you guys I want to show you guys something that's gonna really.
No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Because I knew one of you, I knew one of y'all, I knew. No, don't do that. I don't want to hear what you, no, be quiet. You better shut it up in here, because I know you ain't believe me. When I told you put your eyes on, put your ears on, get you something to drink, get you something to eat, get you something to smoke, get comfortable. You ain't want to hear me. I told you what to do. And now you're over there like, what? This is what's going on in the world today. And if you think it's a damn game, didn't believe Tracy Stevens that just came in and said fake. Did y'all see fam say it just came in our house? No, listen to me. She just came in our house and said fake. That's what y'all letting people just come in your house and talk like that? That's how y'all come? Y'all better not ever let nobody come in our house and talk like that. You hear me? People better get order when they speak, when they come to the doorstep. Don't never let nobody in our house talking like that. Y'all heard me, fam? Ever. But you see, when we show this, we get that. Hit that like button and subscribe right now. Get your face on, get your ears on. I'm here to, I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna give you what it, I'm gonna give it to you. Get order in here, act like we know. Liz of Texas in the building, Nikki Love in the building. Lori came in the building. You know how we coming. Jalea D. Sugar Rush in the building. Coming in. Heavy Irene. I see you coming in heavy with the levels is. Or Korea. I see your old dog Tricks. What we doing? Hit that like button, subscribe, because you don't get it nowhere but right here with Dilla T and my family in our house. And there's no filters. Listen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, my Golly Vibes family, I'm about to share some information with you guys that is going to blow your mind, especially those who don't believe in these type of things. It has to do with Charlie Kirk and some witches. Now, I seen this when the assassination first happened. I seen it on the day of, right? I seen this on the day of. My friend sent this to me the day that this happened, okay? It was witches who made a spell. They paid.
Friends in the building, where you been? You better be comfortable right now. Make sure you never hit that, never live out.
Kelly
notification off.
She brought it up on her show, right? She brought it up on her show, but I really didn't bring it up. There was so much going on that we just didn't bring it up. But now we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna show you a video of Megyn Kelly and her breaking down the story of what happened, because many people don't know this, but Charlie Kirk's wife actually seen this before all of us, I guess. You know, she must have been looking for different things as far as, you know, trying to protect Charlie. And she's seen these witches put a spell on Charlie. So for protection, Erica Kirk called over a friend. Let's just go ahead and read exactly what it is. The night before Charlie Kirk was murdered, Erica Kirk called a friend to come over to their house to pray for Charlie after feminist website Jezebel paid witches on Etsy to curse him. Jezebel bragged just 2 days before Charlie was assassinated about how they paid for multiple curses to punish him. One of the curses was reportedly paid for on August 23rd, and the witch promised that the results would be noticed in 2 to 3 weeks. Wow. Charlie was killed 2.5 weeks later. Erica and Charlie heard about these curses, and that news genuinely rattled Erica in particular, so much so that she and Charlie contacted a friend and asked him to come over and pray with them over Charlie the night before he was murdered. Pure evil. Pure evil. Let's go ahead and check out the clip of Megyn Kelly breaking this down. Stay here though, because I want to show you guys I want to show you guys something that's going to really get you guys armored up out here. Okay? Witches are real. Warlocks are real. Demons are real. It's all real. You may have seen it in different movies. May have seen it in different horror flicks. It's real. Just because they ain't out here flying on a broom right next to your house doesn't mean it's not real. They're for sure astral projecting around these skies. For sure. I've had an experience with one myself. Let's go ahead and get into Megyn Kelly.
First, I have a sort of out of left field story to bring to you, and I want to start with it. I've been wrestling with whether to bring you this story for a few days now. I've been wrestling because I find it so vile and off and odd. I wasn't even sure where to go with it. But I decided that I had to do it because the groups who did this deserve public censure. I learned when I was out in Arizona last week that 2 weeks before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, the far-left website Jezebel declared that it had a mission to cast bad luck or a curse on Charlie. They wanted to hurt him in some way. They declared, quote, if the far-right misogynist with a bad haircut wants to villainize independent women, Jezebel is more than happy to be the hag of his nightmares. And they went onto the website Etsy, yes, Etsy, to, quote, cast a curse on him. Yes, this is actually a thing. Etsy, the website known for making arts and crafts on demand, will happily cast a hex through its witches, who you can hire, on someone if you ask them to. The Jezebel crew was delighted to discover, quote, it's not uncommon for the so-called witches on Etsy to channel their energy toward thwarting Republicans. There's even a subreddit devoted to casting nightly hexes on Trump. Jezebel decided Charlie Kirk, who they've repeatedly described as far-right, the founder of the right-wing conspiracy theory factory, Turning Point USA, is, quote, more irritating than most, and asked its audience if they were, quote, interested in punishing Kirk for years of regressive rhetoric with a curse, with a hex on him. After all, they told readers, he's basically a fake news vending machine. The article notably does not list the name of any particular author, but simply uses its company name as the byline. So we don't know exactly which writer or staffer at Jezebel, which has long been a disgusting publication, came up with the idea. But since they're attributing it to all of them, so will we in terms of our blame. It was, in fact, the brainchild of one writer, however, because it is written in the first person, a female. The writer explains now. Is it ethical to curse a man I've never met? Probably not. But is it unethical to let him keep talking? Yes. Now comes the obligatory ass-covering paragraph in the piece, just to stave off any negative publicity for Jezebel. Quote, I want to make it clear I'm not calling on dark forces to cause him harm. I just want him to wake up every morning with an inexplicable zit. I want his podcast microphone to malfunction every time he hits record. I want his blue blazers to suddenly all be one size too small. I want one of his socks to always be sliding down his foot. I want his thumb to grow too big to tweet, to ruin his day with the collective feminist power of the Etsy coven would be my life's greatest joy.
These people be watching way too much cartoons. Wait, like, what are you talking about?
So even in her ass covering, she was asking for Charlie to be rendered less attractive, to not be able to use his microphone and silence his voice, to have discomfort foisted upon him, to stop his ability to tweet or spread his message, and to, quote, ruin his day. Got it? That's the nice part of the Jezebel article. She tells the reader she placed her first spell on Etsy, and it was, quote, in all caps, make everyone hate him. And she wondered aloud, how long would it take to kick in? The witch servicing Jezebel on Etsy contacted the writer and asked if she would like to, quote, amplify the energetic support of the spell for an extra $50. She did it. She goes on, for the powerful hex spell, I had to provide Kirk's date of birth for accuracy. The witch informed her that she, the witch, had performed the hex and that it was successful. Jezebel wanted to know when they were getting results on their curse. And while they're...
I want you to know something real quick before we continue. You can't even find this article anymore. I've looked for it. I don't know if they took it down when I was looking. Maybe it's back up. But when I looked for it last night, could not find it. They took it down. It's crazy work.
And while their article on all of this it was published on Monday, September 8th, it makes clear that the writer contracted for the curse in late August. She says she wanted it to line up with the new moon in Virgo, which this year meant August 23rd. That tracks because she points out in the piece that by August 24th, she was waiting impatiently for results. The witch, they reveal, promised on August 23rd that, quote, you will see the first results within 2 to 3 weeks. This was 18 days before Charlie was killed. Not satisfied with this curse, the amped up one, alone, Jezebel reached out to a, quote, third witch, Priestess Lilin. Jezebel opined, if enough people cursed a single person, would the results be stronger? Quote, when I asked her if she'd noticed more political figures being targeted these days, she said yes. The next day, Lilin sent the Jezebel writer proof of the hex she had cast, quote, a photograph in flames, the edges slowly curling inward, engulfing Charlie's ridiculous, scrunched up little face. She whispered, what? I imagine, writes the Jezebel reporter, trust the unseen. Chills, writes Jezebel.
Let me know who you are right now, what's going on. Let me know if you fam. Let me know where you from right now. FAM right now. Where you from and what you're doing right now. Where you're from and what you're doing right now. If you're fam, you know what to type. But let me know where you're from and what you're doing right now. Why? Because I want to know, because we all in the same house. We will never allow nobody to come in our house and disrespect us. Get right, get real. You see it, call it out for what it is. Let's make sure we understand what's going on right now. Where you're from and who you are. Let me see it. Let me hear it. I see Texas in the building. Huh? I see California in the building. I see San Diego in the building. Las Vegas in the building. Where you from and who you are right now. Nikki Love, you Seattle? We never knew that, Nikki. Seattle? Whoever pulled up with the Seahawks. Don't play with us. Brooklyn, Anthony. Is you there? California, Kentucky right now. Detroit, Marcus. Scotland. Scotland? Like real Scotland, John? Like real Scotland, John? Really? Real Scotland? Where you at? Julia D, where you from? Let me know. You're like Brooklyn. That look like South. That look like SC is South Carolina, Tracy. Don't do that. Let me know. Because you know SC can mean a lot. PA in the bit. I see you, old dog. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know Alabama, Wisconsin had something going on this weekend. Somebody came out on top. Francie, you go through a lot. We need to know what you like doing so we keep up with you, fam. Texas Francie in the building. Get order, get life, get real. Let's make sure we real. We got fam coming out of Jamaica in here. Let's make sure we understand. Running war, you from the Chi? I ain't know it, but let me tell you something. You know what's going on down there, don't you, boy? Drives Beasley, Texas in the house. Is it really Texas or is it Houston? Because it's all one. It's the Lone Star State. I need to know where you're from, fam. Where you from? What you stand on? You know what's crazy? Some people be from over here, but they stand for where they live at now. Let me say that again. Some people be from over here, but they claim and where they stand at now. Which one you claiming? Where you from or where you at now? Liz in Texas say, Austin! I heard you, fam. Tell me where you're from or where you stand at now. Business or not. Let's go.
Sunday, August 24th passed, writes the author, and nothing. Monday, August 25th, still nothing. Tuesday, August 26th, nothing.
Where you been at, Ivan?
But then she writes, she reminded herself,
you better hit that like button. You need to become a member, man, because you be lost.
On their own schedule. The Jezebel writer...
The forces operate...
Tone, where you been, Tone?
Schedule.
T-shirt champ in the building. We got it coming to you, fam.
Who do you think
everybody say what's up to Tone? Everybody say what's up to Mona.
Demons. They can call them They can call them sources. They can call them forces. They can call them spirits or whatever they want to call it. It's all evil. Their source is evil. Understand that.
Amsterdam in the building.
They think
Theo, hold up.
Power. No.
See, when I'm real. I don't care what y'all talking about. I'm real. When I see fam and I ain't seen fam, I got to call Theo. Where you been, fam? Hopefully you've been well. Hopefully all been good. Glad that you pulled up, friend. I got to call. You know it. You know it, don't you? You know it. I'm like, what fam been? You know the notifications should be on all. You get them, fam. He got to know. Get some order in here. We with you. We surviving. We living. Let's get right in here. I need to know where my fam from and what we doing. You better hear me today. Amsterdam in the building. Act like we know. Julia D. Sugar Rush from Amsterdam in the building. Let's get right. Let's get real. Understand where we at. Where you at with it, Theo. And what we doing and how we living, how we coming. San Diego in the building. Nicole One Press. You need to subscribe because you fresh. Listen to me. This is the only place where we here to inform, understand, and be aware that if it, and if it, then it is. Tell them what it is, Lord. Tell them right now what it is, Scare. Tell them what it is. Let's hit that like button, subscribe. They cooking.
That's why they got the game mixed up. They think their power is just power and they can just operate in any kind of way they want to and just pull from a force just because they can feel it. They can feel the power from the source that they're pulling from. It's the wrong power, ladies and gentlemen. The devil will collect. Make no mistake about it. If you're pulling from the devil and he's given to you, he will collect.
The piece as follows. So, did my Etsy curses work? Time will tell. The forces move in mysterious ways.
This for my dog Tone in the building. This for all my family members. I want y'all to know what's going on because this is what's going on in the public. It's a lot of y'all don't really think this is real, but it's spiritual warfare. Let me say that again for the people in the back. This is spiritual warfare. Get right, get real. Let's go. Deanna in the building, get right where you been. Hit that like button, subscribe. You better be on all.
With you guys, that is going to blow your mind, especially those who don't believe in these type of things. It has to do with Charlie Kirk and some witches. Now, I seen this when the assassination.
We bring that back for the stupid people in the back that ain't listening. Somebody need to get some water, juice, soda, food, smoke, everything that you better get it right now. Because this is real.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, my Golly Vibes family, I'm about to share some information with you guys that is going to blow your mind, especially those who don't believe in these type of things. It has to do with Charlie Kirk and some witches. Now, I seen this when the assassination first happened. I seen it on the day of, right? I seen this on the day of. My friend sent this to me the day that this happened, okay? It was witches who made a spell. They paid for a spell to get done on Charlie Kirk's life. But I'm bringing it up now because Megyn Kelly just brought it up on her show, right? She brought it up on her show.
Let's get it lined up.
I really didn't bring it up. There was so much going on that we just didn't bring it up. But now we're going to talk about it.
Let's go.
I'll show you a video of Megyn Kelly and her breaking down the story of what happened because many people don't know this, but Charlie Kirk's wife actually seen this before all of us, I guess. You know, she must have been looking for different things as far as, you know, trying to protect Charlie. And she's seen these witches put a spell on Charlie.
Wolfman, where you at, boy? You better pull a knife.
Erica Kirk called over a friend. Let's just go ahead and read exactly what it is. The night before Charlie Kirk was murdered, Erica Kirk called a friend to come over to their house to pray for Charlie after feminist website Jezebel paid witches on Etsy to curse him. Jezebel bragged just 2 days before Charlie was assassinated about how they paid for multiple curses.
Is that Wolfman, fam? Talking about Lone Wolf?
Was reportedly paid for on August 23rd, and the witch promised that the results would be noticed in 2 to 3 weeks. Wow. Charlie was killed 2.5 weeks later. Erica and Charlie heard about these curses, and that news genuinely rattled Erica in particular. So much so that she and Charlie contacted a friend and asked him to come over and pray with them over Charlie the night before he was murdered. Pure evil. Pure evil. let's go ahead and check out the clip of Megyn Kelly breaking this down. Stay here though, because I want to show you guys that's gonna.
Shout out John Scott in Scotland. Scotland!
Get you guys armored up out here. Okay? Witches are real. Warlocks are real. Demons are real. It's all real. May have seen it in different movies. May have seen it in different horror flicks. It's real. Just because you're flying on a broom right next to your house doesn't mean it's not real. They're for sure astral projecting around these skies. For sure. I've had an experience with one myself. Let's go ahead and get into Megyn Kelly.
First, I have a sort of out of left field story to you, and then I want to start with it. I've been wrestling with whether to bring you this story for a few days now. I've been wrestling because I find it so vile and off and odd. I wasn't even sure where to go with it. But I decided that I had to do it because the groups who did this deserve public censure. I learned when I was out in Arizona last week that 2 weeks before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, the far-left website Jezebel declared that it had a mission to cast bad luck or a curse on Charlie. They wanted to hurt him in some way. They declared, quote, if the far-right misogynist with a bad haircut wants to villainize independent women, Jezebel is more than happy to be the hag of his nightmares. And they went onto the website Etsy, yes, Etsy, to, quote, cast a curse on him. Yes, this is actually a thing. Etsy, the website known for making arts and crafts on demand, will happily cast a hex through its witches, who you can hire, on someone if you ask them to. The Jezebel crew was delighted to discover, quote, it's not uncommon for the so-called witches on Etsy to channel their energy toward thwarting Republicans. There's even a subreddit devoted to casting nightly hexes on Trump. Jezebel decided Charlie Kirk, who they've repeatedly described as far-right, the founder of the right-wing conspiracy theory factory, Turning Point USA, is, quote, more irritating than most, and asked its audience if they were, quote, interested in punishing Kirk for years of regressive rhetoric with a curse, with a hex on him. After all, they told readers, he's basically a fake news vending machine. The article notably does not list the name of any particular author, but simply uses its company name as the byline. So we don't know exactly which writer
Mama K in the building, everybody
Jezebel,
say what's up to her, you know what it is.
Which has long been a disgusting publication.
Stone 357 pulled up, I ain't seen your fan, make sure we know what it
since
is.
They're attributing it to all of them, so will we in terms of our blame. It was in fact the brainchild of one writer, however, because it is written in the first person, a female. The writer explains now. Is it ethical to curse a man I've never met? Probably not. But is it unethical to let him keep talking? Yes. Now comes the obligatory ass-covering paragraph in the piece, just to stave off any negative publicity for Jezebel. Quote, I want to make it clear I'm not calling on dark forces to cause him harm. I just want him to wake up every morning with an inexplicable zit. I want his podcast microphone to malfunction every time he hits record. I want his blue blazers to suddenly all be one size too small. I want one of his socks to always be sliding down his foot. I want his thumb to grow too big to tweet, to ruin his day with the collective feminist power of the Etsy coven would be my life's greatest joy.
These people be watching way too much cartoons. Woo! Wait, like, what are you talking about?
So even in her ass covering, she was asking for Charlie to be rendered less attractive, to not be able to use his microphone and silence his voice, to have discomfort foisted upon him, to stop his ability to tweet or spread his message, and to, quote, ruin his day. Got it? That's the nice part of the Jezebel article. She tells the reader she placed her first spell on Etsy, and it was, quote, in all caps, make everyone hate him. And she wondered aloud, how long would it take to kick in? The witch servicing Jezebel on Etsy contacted the writer and asked if she would like to, quote, amplify the energetic support of the spell for an extra $50. She did it. She goes on, for the powerful hex spell, I had to provide Kirk's date of birth for accuracy. The witch informed her that she, the witch, had performed the hex and that it was successful. Jezebel wanted to know when they were getting results on their curse.
Deanna talking about I ain't high enough for this. Hit that like button, subscribe, though. We cooking.
Before we
You know it.
continue, you can't even find this article anymore.
Shout out to Lizzie Willis with the $10 donation for the refreshment and the super and the Cash App donation. Shout out to your family. You know I appreciate you.
They took it down.
And while their article about all of this hit, it was published on Monday, September 8th, it makes clear that the writer contracted for the curse in late August. She says she wanted it to line up with the new moon in Virgo, which this year meant August 23rd. That tracks because she points out in the piece that by August 24th, she was waiting impatiently for results. The witch, they reveal, promised on August 23rd that, quote, you will see the first results within 2 to 3 weeks.
Hold up. I didn't think y'all knew what was going on here. This your boy Dilla T. This my family. This no filters. Y'all not hearing what's really real. We in a day and age where people talking about they casting spells on folk. Hexes, things of that nature. And yet we sit here and just laugh. We sit here and still just talk. We sit here and still just digress and move forward. But I don't even think you understand what life we living in. Somebody can just get mad and say, hey, let me just put a hex on you today. Oh, I'm sorry. This been going on, but now it's brought to the forefront. Just like Diddy. It's been going on with Diddy and them, but now it's brought to the forefront. See, I ain't got to yell in here. You hear me. Who casting spells on you today? No, don't do that. Let me know who casting a spell on you. Who do you think casting a spell on you? Tell me right now. Who casting spells on you? Because you know that shit exists. That's not a game. Hex? Look it up. Google. A matter of fact, my bad. Hit AI. If you feel like I'm tripping. You don't want to believe in Dilla T? Believe in AI. That's fine. Go type that in. What a hex is. What a spell is. Go type it in. And let me know if you about that life. Oh, no, don't do that. You stand on business. You tough. You do all this and that. Go look it up and read it and tell me if you about that life, partner. Yeah, let me know if you about that life. Got all that in mouth. Hex. You about that life? Can you handle that? You know what they do, right? You know what they do, right? Oh, no, you tough. Do you know what a hex do on your life? So you don't believe in God. You don't believe in spiritual warfare. You don't believe in warfare. But yet, when somebody says something about a hex, or a spell. You've been seeing that shit on TV, but yet you fold up like a lawn chair when you scared. Let me say that again for the scared people that ain't did shit in their life. It's a difference between a street ninja and a ninja from the streets. Let me say that again. It's a difference between a street ninja and a ninja from the streets, okay? A ninja from the streets understand the curriculum that go on in the streets, but yet he's not obligated or ordained in those streets that he grew up in. But a person that's a street ninja, oh, he's ordained, baptized, saved, and born again in the streets. And you would never understand what that is if you never went through that. Hit that like button and subscribe. I can't even repeat what I just said because that's how real that is. There's a difference. If you want to know the difference, just rewind, go back, hit this video, and it's going to tell you the difference between a street ninja and a ninja from the streets. There's an obligation. There's a natural habitat. There's a distinction in how we observe and identify the difference. You better thank God for no filters. You get a chance to subscribe. You get a chance to hit the like button. You get a chance to become a member. You get a chance. You feel like this is that. No, you get a chance to understand more than what you're doing today, and to bring light to darkness and inform, understand, and be aware that if it is called a, but yet we know what it is regardless. This is the reason why I'm playing this video, and I want you to know this is what exists in our world as grown people, living our lives, going to work, taking care of our kids. But this is what exists in this world. Witches, warlocks, people that can change your life by just saying a couple words. Woo! You better be. Let me tell you something. See, I don't just be talking to be talking. I'm thinking like, man, my family got to go through this. My family in New York, my family in Texas, my family in St. Louis, Memphis, my family in Chicago, my family in Las Vegas, my family in Jamaica, my family in Canada, my family in California. I mean, I can run it down for you to know how my family extends, how big, how our house is. Like the No Filters house is so, my bad. The No Filters house is so big that you might not even know what you're doing when you're talking. You better ask somebody what you're a part of. And if they say no filters, you better stand down and go sit down. Because we heard somebody tell me right now, we heard a what? And we heard a what? And we heard a what? Because I don't think they identified that this is our house. So when we address theories that think it's conspiracies, I don't even think you heard what I said. I said when we address theories that are conspiracies, we stand on business. Why? Because we know if it walk like her, talk like her, we know what it is. So you don't get to tell me, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. No, it ain't. That's a theory that has a conspiracy attached to it that makes you and me and the world say, what you think? What you think? No, what you think? No, tell me what you think. No, tell me what you think. See, that does nothing but leave the door open for what do you think? And if they can put 1,000 thoughts, 1,000,000 thoughts, 1,000,000,000 thoughts together and drop them off in the public, that's called chaos. That's called anarchy. That's called no order. So now we have to deal with chaos, anarchy, and corruption. All in one. So the point that I'm telling you to become a member, I'm telling you to become a member because you don't want to be real with yourself. Let me say that again for the people in the back. I'm telling you to become a member because you don't want to be real with yourself. I appreciate you, Mama K. You understand? But understand me today, right now. You don't want to become a member because you don't want to be real with yourself. But see, I'm here to be real for you. My family is here to be real for you. We are here Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. to be real for you. You choose to be real the days that you want to. You know what's going on, and yet you still want to be fake. Why? Because you don't want to stand on business. And I've identified it because I've been through some in my life. See, I can never talk to y'all like this if I ain't been through shit myself. Hear me? It's not fair for me to talk to you like that, but yet I ain't been through nothing. Shout out to Theo Sacco. He feel me today. I'm only speaking because I've been through it. So I want you to know that I hear you. We might not have been specifically what you've been through, but yet we fam. And we all can only stand together. Why? Because we all in the same world. You can't tell me you going through something or that I ain't seen, yet you still live in the same world I'm in. How did you get to act like you're an alien and felt something? But yet, I wouldn't say alien if we didn't know what those were. And we still don't. Point is, whatever they tell us, that's what we believe. You better stop doing that. Let me say it again for the people in the back that want to roll how they want to roll. Whatever they tell us, that's what we believe. Stop and get your damn mind together. Shout out to Lizzie in Texas. Coming to members tonight because she understand what it takes to inform, understand, and be aware. That we're here to make sure that we ain't lacking because we in our house. Nobody comes in our house without acknowledging us for them to get a pass. Shout out to you, Lizzie, from Texas, family. I appreciate you. It's Monday through Friday. It's 9 p.m. Nothing happens in the world without checking in with your boy Dealatofficial and my family here at No Filters. You understand? Y'all ever figure this out? Check out this right quick. Let me tell you something. You ever tripped off how it's always something to talk about? All tell them fam, tell them tone, invite family in here, let family know we appreciate her being a member. It don't come no other way but through her, through No Filters. You understand me? That's the realest Nikki Love. You know what it is, Nikki Love. You should have been a member. You been day one. You understand how we cook, and you understand how we inform and be aware of what we doing. You hear me, family? It matters more that we together. It matters more that we let people know what we doing. You understand me? If you ain't built like that, you can become a member and we're going to build you up. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Tone, you hear me, Tone? If you ain't built like that, you can become a member and we're going to build you up. We're not playing with nobody over here. We see what it is. We understand what it is. So we call it like it is. We here to inform, understand, and be aware that if somebody here tell her right now, she became a member, she get a pass to know what it is. If it understand and underform to be aware, then what? Tell her what it is. Because we know how we calling it. Let me tell you something, family. You can stand on business right here with me. You can stand on business right here with my family. We are showing you what's going on tonight because this is what's been going on in the world. This is more than you and me. This is No Filters.
This was 18 days before Charlie was killed. Not satisfied with this curse, the amped up one, alone, Jezebel reached out to a, quote, third witch, Priestess Lilin. Jezebel opined, if enough people cursed a single person, would the results be stronger? Quote, when I asked her if she'd noticed more political figures being targeted these days, she said yes. The next day, Lilin sent the Jezebel writer proof of the hex she had cast, quote, a photograph in flames, the edges slowly curling inward, engulfing Charlie's ridiculous, scrunched up little face. She whispered, "I imagine," writes the Jezebel reporter, "trust the unseen." Chills, writes Jezebel. Sunday, August 24th passed, writes the author, and nothing. Monday, August 25th, still nothing. Tuesday, August 26th, nothing. But then she writes, she reminded herself, this is witchcraft, not Amazon. The forces operate on their own schedule. The Jezebel writer...
The forces operate on their own...
What the hell is that? And ain't none of y'all said nothing.
Who do you think their source is?
No, shut up. He better shut up right now. Talking about the force operate how they want. Ain't nobody said nothing. You ain't heard that? No, don't do that. No, I'm talking to you. You, and them on the side of you. I'm touching your forehead, they forehead, and everybody down the couch forehead. That's what you let be said, and you ain't said shit in this comment. You heard that shit, and you ain't say nothing in the comment. What you want, fam? You gonna leave me hanging like that? You gonna let me listen and don't and be a what? And I heard you, Nerdy Locks, but when you came in, I ain't know it's here. Everybody say what's up to Nerdy Locks right now. Shout out to you for consistency and loyalty. You said some things in life that's different, but I appreciate you. Because you pull up loyalty at the time that it matters most. Everybody say what's up to Nerdy Locks right now.
Demons. Demons. They can call them They can call them sources. They can call them forces. They can call them spirits or whatever they want to call it. It's all evil. Their source is evil. Understand that. The problem with them is they think that power is just power. No. That's why they got the game mixed up. They think that power is just power and they can just operate in any kind of way they want to and just pull from a force just because they can feel it. They can feel the power from the source that they're pulling from. It's the wrong power, ladies and gentlemen. The devil will collect. Make no mistake about it. If you're pulling from the devil and he's given to you, he will collect.
The piece as follows. So, did my Etsy curses work? Time will tell. The forces move in mysterious ways. And as the priestess Lillian reminded me, spell work is the collaboration between the caster, the client, and the universe itself. For now, we can only trust in the timing of the great unknown. To you, Mr. Kirk, may the rash come swiftly. 2.5 weeks after those curses were...
No, I'm shutting that shit down. I don't even want to hear it. You heard her talking about that the wrath comes swiftly. Girl, you reading this shit, but you think it ain't doing nothing to you? You better get your face together. You hear Nerdy talking about is she a witch? I had to shut her down because I felt like she was. You hear me, fam? We ain't playing that shit in here. You better get yourself together. Hit that like button, subscribe right now. Let me know what you're doing right now. It's 10:56 in St. Louis. What you doing right now? Don't be scared. Tell me now. We a day from Friday from the weekend. And I'm going to just point this out real quick. Back in the day, you know how long it took to get to the weekend? Like today would have been like Tuesday, Wednesday. Shit, it's Thursday. You better thank God for this. You hear me? You don't get this nowhere else. You only get it right here. And if you thought you did, I'm about to drop some on your ass right now. Get your like button, subscribe. Let's go.
Say a gunshot came from or a reflection in their lives.
Everybody scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. No, don't be scared. I'm going to give you a chance again. Hit that like button, subscribe. We cooking in here. China Dial. I don't know who that is, but I appreciate you pulling up. Hit that like button, subscribe, because you don't even know you in here with Dilla T and my fam. They're going to get you together. I appreciate your family. You know what it is, Francie. That's what we doing. We're not playing with them, Theo. They try to act like the rapture was coming on September something. Is you serious? Let me get you together. Everybody stop what you're doing and look at me and listen. Right now. Shout out to Theo. See, you see what my family do? Listen to me. Stop right now. They try to throw out there a September something about a rapture. Rapture. R-A-P-T-U-R-E. Listen to me. The rapture is so much more bigger than all of us living that you could be out your damn mind to think that they can mention the rapture and think that they would even matter. Stop playing out here. I wouldn't even be looking at you like this right now. You know that, fam. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I wouldn't even be looking at you like that, but stop playing with the rapture. Because you're not right with God. So you don't get to watch your mouth about the rapture. Stop. Let it go. Don't even trip on that. But you need to be informed, understand, and be aware. Don't do that. You hear me? I do not want my family lost because you're listening to false. Let me say it again. I don't want my family lost because you're listening to false. We're not doing that. There will be a day and a time for the rapture, and it will be here. No man knows the hour, the day, or the time. So please don't think that somebody came up with a curriculum or a plan on how the rapture is supposed to happen. All right? So don't trip on that, fam. Chill out. Don't worry about that rapture stuff, because that'll change your whole life. All right? But I want you to know that it's truly a blessing to be amongst those that know what's real. Let me say that again. It's a blessing to know that we're amongst those that's real. I'm about to give you some information and some footage that all of you wanted to be or probably didn't care, but yet we still was able to be there when this man got shot in his head and it came out his neck. And none of you can speak about what's happening right now. Let's go. Eyes, ears, fingers. Hit that like button, subscribe. We cooking. Let's go. I'm going to show you something real.
Okay, I'm here at UVU, Utah Valley University, where Charlie Kirk was killed. Behind me, you can see the tunnel where Tyler Robinson went in. Behind me, this is 800th Street. This is where they caught him on camera, limping with the gun down his pants. TMZ is the one that broke that news. I'm gonna go onto campus now. Okay, here is the tunnel that he would have gone through as the Charlie Kirk event was just getting ready to kick off. And up here will be where the first cameras started to pick him up. All right, here's the stairwell. There's the first camera at UVU that picks up Tyler Robinson and the stairwell as we climb up to the main campus where he would have been speaking, which will be over here. Okay, here's the Woodbury building. Now there is a video of a student coming in and a person runs right there. And this is actually the building that has a much better shot than even the Losi building, which I'll show you later. But as we come down here, you'll see the Charlie Kirk Memorial that has been built. They've put a giant flag right where he was removed. So there's a big memorial over there. And lots of people here right now hanging their respect. Right down there is where that took place. Now, over here is where some people say a gunshot came from or a reflection in the glass. Okay, so we're continuing on the UVU campus. So a student comes in late for the Charlie Kirk event, and he zoomed right here past the Spark Automotive over to the Los or the Losi Center, and he sees somebody run across the roof. It looks like Spark Automotive, but there's actually a big green belt and a sidewalk in between the two buildings. So he is on the Los building. And as that student was coming in, he zooms way in and says, hey, there's somebody laying there on that building. All right, now I want to debunk one theory and give attention to another. So Ryan Mata and others, bless their hearts, they think that there might have been a shooter up here on Spark Automotive, but I'm going to show you that there is a massive green belt, stairs, and a sidewalk that go between, and the Los and the Spark are different. Now, the Spark Automotive, it does have from the roof a very clear shot down to the Kirk event, but I'll show you, if you go back to the old video, right here is where Tyler Robinson was laying. Now, there is another video that surfaced. This is the backside of the Woodbury building, but there was somebody up there at least at 12:06. So just maybe 14 minutes before Charlie Kirk gets going. And this one also has a really incredible sight line right down to where it was. But this is the known area where Tyler Robinson was, and I'll show you later the backside where he drops off. Okay, I am on the second layer of the Los Center. The shooter was on the third layer. You can see right where I'm at, right down there, that's where Charlie Kirk was speaking. So this is an interesting shot, but Tyler Robinson was actually right there, other side of this wall. I'm going to walk you up to where it was. All right, I'm on the second level of the Los building. You can see right there the cameras. It's believed that he jumped over this fencing and then hid right here where he used that screwdriver the FBI found to put the gun together. These are the stairs where they believe that he went up. All right, I can't go any further. They've got no trespassing, but this camera may actually be new and not the original, but you can see, look how easy it is to get onto the roof. Literally just walked on. This is where they pick up on him running and jumping off that corner, and I will show you more about that here in a minute. All right, I've got to be honest with my audience. This is the easiest roof I've ever seen in my life to get on, like the easiest sniper nest to create. Now, it's believed he went over this wall and hid right here with that screwdriver the FBI found, and this is where he assembled the gun. And then he would have walked about 50 feet right there and then laid down in a prone position to get ready to take that shot, all within a couple of minutes. So I want to point out an error that I've seen in a lot of reporting, and I maybe did some of this too, but it's been said that...
That's real. That's how it comes. They feel their energy. It's the difference when you're talking about what they did and what they did. Let's get order on what we know what's going on, what we doing, on what we ready. If you don't know what's going on, hit that like button, subscribe. My family gonna tell you right now in the chat, because we all in the house. See, this ain't no chat. My bad. It's our house. It'll never be chat. It's house. So if you come in the house, say hi. Say what's up. How you doing? Because you know if you come in the house, you need to speak. Act like you know what's going on. Hit that like button, subscribe. You don't get nowhere without us. Dealatofficial, my family, no filters. Let me say it again. You don't get nowhere without us. Because we here to let you know that we here to inform, understand, and be aware. That if it, my family gonna tell you, if it, then it is.
All right, you guys, it is Wednesday, and I have a lot for you today because you're not going to be surprised to hear that the FBI is FBIing. That's what they do. That's what they want to happen with the Charlie Kirk case. Of course, this is inevitable. I'm going to tell you all about that. Also, I want to open up to you guys about this overwhelming doom.
Tell him, Theo.
About 10 days prior to Charlie Kirk's assassination. The story is kind of unbelievable, but I think it's important to share, especially with the way that they're traveling here, the FBI is traveling, trying to shut this case down. And it is also somewhat related to another explosive story that I have for you.
Hit that like button, subscribe if you rock it,
Matthew Crooks. Probably not, because oddly, the feds told us that, hey, don't even worry about that 20-year-old who got up on a rooftop and tried to assassinate.
Whatever. I don't even care. You ain't rocking with us, go on about your business. You act like we begging for you. We ain't begging for shit. You hear me? We ain't never begged for shit over here. Boy, this no filters. This our house. We alright. All my people chilling. Somebody smoking, drinking, eating, cooking, chilling, breathing, shitting, pissing. Don't fuck with us over here, man. And clearly you see me sitting here with you. Watch your mouth when you come in here and start talking all that. Yeah, Skip. Watch your mouth. I'm more than what I look like. Let me say that again, Lord. I thank you, Jesus. Because I knew you told me what I just said, because I said it, because you told me that. I'm more than what I look like. You hear me? Watch your mouth when you looking at me, nigga. I'm more than what I look like. I choose. My family is more than what we go through and what we doing. I'm more than what I look like. Watch your mouth. I don't care what you talking about. Watch your mouth. Respect will be given. And we choose to have respect here. You hear me?
Assassinate President Donald Trump. The story just got buried. Well, today we have some exclusive information about him, never before seen footage of Matthew Crooks, and it's going to be just the beginning of our coverage regarding what we know. So welcome back to Candace.
I mean, we don't hate on the intro. We just let her do her thing. It's your boy Dilla T, my family, no filters. You know what it is. Hit that like button, subscribe. We ain't going nowhere. It's all about...
Okay, so let's start with the breaking news. I don't even know if it's considered breaking news when it comes to the feds.
Hit that like button,
I don't think it's breaking news. I think it's just the news. This is what they do. Well, I have it now on a very well-placed authoritative source that the FBI is putting an absurd amount of pressure right now on the authorities in Utah and also the rest of the government in Utah to come out and to say that the Charlie Kirk case is closed. They want it over. They want Charlie's assassination to be officially ruled lone gunman. It was a lone gunman that did that. Nobody else is involved. Now, why would they? Why would they want that? Right? What are they saying, at least to the authorities? Are they saying like, this is the reason? I'm sure they're not coming out and being honest or saying something that might ring truer to us, the public, which would be them saying, well, we know who did this and we want to protect those people, so close the case. What they're actually saying instead is essentially, if you don't close the case against Charlie Kirk and rule it a lone gunman, then it might mess up our prosecution against Tyler Robinson. That feels a little bit to me like moral blackmail. Hey, man, we're not hiding anything, but we've got this guy, Tyler Robinson. If you don't close this case, then it might harm our chances of locking this guy up. Yeah, I am sure that they are being just moral. I'm sure they're telling the truth to the authorities. Now, I want to remind you guys, we should take a look at their current case against Tyler Robinson to see if we should accept this narrative, because currently there is absolutely no video which shows Tyler Robinson firing the weapon or even taking aim at Charlie Kirk. In fact, the individual who filmed the footage of the shooter on the roof, the lone video that exists of the shooter on the roof, also told me that he doesn't think that Tyler Robinson is the guy. So how's that going to work for an eyewitness account? When he reported the shooter on the roof to Utah on the campus, he was clear that the person was wearing an entirely different outfit than the ones that they're currently trying to claim that Tyler wore on that day. Remember, Tyler was just supposed to be wearing a t-shirt and some jeans. He says, no, he was in tactical gear. The person that I saw was in tactical gear. Also, that eyewitness told me that that gun doesn't even match what I saw. And like I said, this individual definitively has experience with guns. He teaches people how to fire guns.
Is that real, Theo?
He observed if he's
you
going
better
to
let me know that
this
information,
court
what you
case,
said, Theo.
saying
Stand on business. Let me know what you're talking about,
charge
Theo.
against Tyler.
My fam.
He's going to testify and say, no, that doesn't look like the gun. That doesn't look like the person.
You know that's crazy work.
So how's this going to work? Also, according to the individual that told me this, regarding the feds trying to push for this case closure, the feds don't even have any footage that explains how exactly the rifle in particular got onto the roof. That stuns me. That's stunning information, right? Because all we have is, well, in the indictment, he dropped onto the roof at 12:15 p.m. Tyler Robinson just dropped onto the roof. I guess in our minds, we assumed on the basis of the picture that they released the sole picture or set of pictures from the same moment of him walking up the stairs. We assumed that he, like I said, stanky legged it, the whole stanky leg all the way up onto the rooftop. That was our perception. But it turns out, according to my source, they don't know how the rifle got onto the roof. That's interesting. How are we bringing this to trial? Now, regarding the bullets, the source says that it was too fragmented.
Wait a minute, Theo! Theo, don't do that. Because I know how you cover. See, that's why I be talking about my family. We don't play no games over here. My family don't care. Even if I knew what Theo just said, and I was going to let you know when I was going to tell you, you see how it comes? Don't play with us. Theo, you know what it is. Lock in with me, fam. Hit that NoFeelters at Gmail. I'm going to rock with you. You know what it is. Hit that NoFeelters 314 at Gmail. Theo, do it now or when you can. My people don't play no games. You hear me? Y'all not really ready for what's going on. We can see. Put your eyes on and be aware, because we here to inform, understand, and be aware. If you're not ready to understand and be aware, don't be scared. Just go somewhere and do something. But yet, you still sit here and subscribe here. I will lead you. If you don't want to stand on business, I will lead you. Stop playing with me today. You see my eyes? I don't care about nothing you talking about. If you're not ready, if you're not willing, if you don't care, that's the difference. You can be ready and caring, but if you're not willing, get your soft ass somewhere over there. Because clearly they let me know you soft as medicated cotton. But subscribe and become a member today, and we're going to make you harder than that. We're going to turn you into more than drywall. Oh, yeah, you're going to become medicated cotton first, because that's what you are. And then we're going to make you into drywall, and then we're going to make you into straight up steel. Hit that like button and subscribe, become a member. You don't want to say nothing I'm saying. You scared. Now, let me say it again. You scared to say what I'm saying. No, don't do that, weak ass. I want to call you more than what I'm thinking, but I feel like you medicated cotton. See, you so soft. You medicated cotton because, you know, if you touch it, you can put your print in it. So shut the hell up, talking, thinking, acting like you stand on business. You don't. You medicated cotton. But if you hit that like button and subscribe and become a member, I'm going to make you more than what you thought you was right now. Because we're not playing with life or society. I got kids. You got kids. We have to tell them the truth. Shut the hell up if you ain't with me right now. If I see anybody in the comments that's talking tough, shut the hell up if you ain't with me right now. I'm gonna cancel you like you never lived. Watch your mouth when I'm talking about business with my family in our house. You need to thank God that it's people like us that exist. Shout out to Theo just said, I do believe that CK couldn't be brought out by them. CK meaning, is CK the Charlie Kirk? Yeah, he said Charlie Kirk can be brought out by them. But you got to understand, Charlie Kirk knew Trump, so you don't get a chance to say what it was because he knew Trump, and Trump and him was like this. At that point, we don't know nothing because I can say what it was and what it wasn't, but he knew Trump. So whatever orchestration was whatever, that's what it is. Hit that like button, subscribe. I appreciate my family talking with me. Let's end it right now.
To match Tyler's rifle, so they don't have even the bullets. And let us not forget that Tyler himself has not confessed to anything. And that part also didn't make sense. So they brought him in, Bill Ackman puts up $1 million, Tyler's dad gets the sheriff friend to come over, and they say he did it, and the police come and they bring him in. They bring Tyler Robinson in, but Tyler Robinson doesn't confess. So how did you arrest him? Does that make sense? How could you make an arrest if you didn't have a confession? You would have to have evidence, and the evidence can't be trust my dad, bro. You can't. If I just bring in a random person, I say, oh look, Skylar just committed this crime, and Skylar says, no, I didn't, and he doesn't confess. The police can't just make an arrest. You just arrest Skylar. Nothing is making sense at all. It has not made sense from the very beginning, okay? And that's because the feds are involved. And I believe the feds know exactly what happened. In fact, I don't think it's a stretch of imagination when we examine history to assume that they maybe even had some foreknowledge. Not everybody, obviously, because some people are trying to get the information out and are trying to figure out what happened. But we know that there are people that are part of the apparatus who are terrible human beings, who we do not want ruling over us, and yet they do. So I'm just curious how exactly they believe they are going to convict Tyler Robinson on this. Oh, you know what? It's probably the Discord messages. I forgot, silly me. The Discord, I forgot it was so explicit. How could we forget? Oh Lance, wherefore art thou, Lance? Deny thy father and refuse thy name? And with thou wilt not, Lance, the bullets, me, my handprints, it was me, my love. I did everything, I carved it. You remember, my love, when I was carving the bullets? Yes.
Somebody hating on me.
Exactly, this time is when I did it. And these are the reasons, my MAGA daddy, my love, thou wilt not, my love. Cool story.
That's
very
real.
Cool story, feds. Kind of feeling like Tyler's gonna get off because they got really nothing but prints, and from my sources, it's not the only set of prints that are on that gun. In fact, the only thing that I have heard that made sense, which did not come from our government, not come from the feds, not come from the Utah government, but rather from the people that are on the ground who believe that actually Tyler.
I appreciate you, Kevin. You hear me, Kevin?
Off his gun.
I don't want to talk about the government, but Kevin.
That for some reason just
hit that like button, subscribe, so I make sure you're here with me each and every Monday through Friday. I ain't lying. I'm with you, fam. It's like that. My family here to tell you that it's real.
To just dismiss it, as they always do. You know, rather relatedly, something that I wanted to tell you yesterday, we had showed you a clip of Charlie discussing our friendship and how he was feeling morally blackmailed over it.
And in that same clip, he mentions a very fond memory that I have. And
what's up, Josh?
My husband, and he says it's a really
like,
fun story.
but subscribe. Don't
fun
forget,
story.
G's.
It's
We
actually
rock.
a totally fun,
Kevin,
crazy
I'm with you,
story of how I met
fam.
my husband.
You remember? Become a
Because
member.
it was. I had something that came over me, and that's the only way I can describe it. And I get all the conspiracies online, and people were like, "There's no way her and her husband got engaged after 18 days." That's exactly how it happened. Okay, I didn't know him. I never even saw his face 18 days prior. And I'm with Charlie. We're hitting the ground running, and I'm just like, I feel compelled that we must go to the UK. It was when I
we're talking about it, Theo.
I was like, Charlie, we gotta go to the UK.
Let me know what the level is. We get it together.
And he's like, man, why? Why do you want to go to London? I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like we're supposed to be there. I feel like we've got to be there for an event. And I did something that I had never done. I took Charlie Kirk's credit card, and I was like, I'm going to find flights and just book it. And then you just figure out, maybe it means we're supposed to start, Turning Point UK. If there's energy there, that was a part of his vision. He wanted Turning Point to be global, and he had people that were interested in the UK. And so I'm showing you this very old text message chain from that time between me and Charlie, where I never looked at flights, but I booked these flights. And I was like, look, the flights are dirt cheap. From NYC to London, $450 in coach, or $1,200 in first class. And he's like, wow, let's book it. All right. We booked the flights. And then suddenly I realized the reason that I had this overwhelming feeling to be there was because I was supposed to be my husband. And the only thing I can say is that it was an intuition. We describe it that it had to have been God. We had just had no other reason to be there. And then Charlie set up a speaking event with some people that had been interested, and sure enough, we were there to help Turning Point UK get set up. Anyways, this overwhelming feeling I had never experienced something like that since, until about a week before, or actually, 10 days before Charlie got assassinated. And so I'm going to explain that to you, because you guys who watch this podcast might have realized something, that we took the show off air randomly for the first couple of days in September. I'll describe to you exactly what happened. There at first was a elementary school shooting that happened at a Catholic school, and I was just concerned in a way that I had never felt so impacted. And I was going, something isn't right. Something is just not right. And I felt that there was some sort of an infiltration.
Shout out Nene Love, Savage T, I appreciate you.
The best way that I can describe it in a sentence is that I sensed that the danger wasn't stopping there, and that more was coming, and that I needed to take a look at just the process of hiring people at the
shout out
school
to family that pulled up. You up, fam? You
attend.
just pulled up.
And
it's good
I
night,
did just
G.
a cursory online search, and some messages I found, which were not written by a teacher at the school, but someone who was adjacent to some teachers at the school, gave me pause for concern. In fact, explicitly what it was a Polish underground symbol, like a Polish communist underground symbol that nobody would have recognized outside of people who know what it meant. And I just sort of went, okay, that's weird. I kept looking online, and strangely, I'm not kidding, I'm going to show you these messages. I came across what looked to me like a bunch of people talking about bees.
Cool, G.
Like literally bees. In a way that's the only way I can describe it. She was like, they were speaking about bees, but they weren't speaking about bees. It was very coded. And I'm going, am I crazy? Or do you think that all these people are really actually, quote unquote, bee farmers, or saying that they farm bees? What is this lingo that I'm not understanding? Why do I feel like it's related to students? I didn't feel good about it at all. And I just sensed that we needed to get more involved, to go to the school, to ask about the process of hiring, to see if they needed more security. They were kind of giving up me the thing that teachers do now when you ask any questions about what happens at the school, which is they make you think like, why do you want to know? Like, we just do whatever we want to do. It's like, I don't know. My children are like 5 and 4, actually. Parents should, of course, we need to be more involved. Like, how did we get here that we feel like we're crazy for asking questions about the hiring practices at schools?
Felicia in the building, say what's up.
I can't show you this.
Become a member.
I said to my husband, there is some weird underground, it's like I sense like imminent danger is coming. And for some reason, I feel like there is an underground that has emerged at schools.
and it's like related to bees. That's what I said. And I messaged multiple people about this, my sister. Here are a couple of more text messages to other people. You can look at the time frame here. This is 8:30, August 30th. This is September 1st when we went off air. September 2nd, we were off air. And I started talking about people that were discussing bees in a way that didn't make sense. I'm like, I don't know if this is drugs. I don't know what it is, but it's weird. And so in a sentence, I just said, there's imminent danger coming, okay? It is relating to a school. I think it's a communist underground, and I don't know why, but it has something to do with bees. Totally sensible thing to say to your husband. Oh, and we need to hire more security. And we did. We hired more security that very week. And I was just frantic about it. And we made the decision that we needed to homeschool immediately and started the process, pulled our kids out of homeschooling and starting to interview people. But it wasn't enough. Like, despite hiring more security, despite taking my kids out of school, I still had a sense of dread.
Theo.
The Tuesday night, the night
Nikki
before Charlie was assassinated.
Exactly, Nikki Love.
And I felt like I needed to emphasize to people in book club that it was time to take their kids out of school. Like, take your kids out of school. Something, danger is happening right now. And I'm going to show you a clip.
I ain't gonna lie, she's doing a lot of talking. But you gotta understand, people will do a lot of talking without making sense. They'll do a lot of talking without understanding. They'll do a lot of understanding without talking. They'll do a lot of talking without understanding. It'll be a bunch of words, a bunch of mouth, but at the end of the day, they just rumble in their face and they making no sense. Now, I'm gonna say this right now. That's how it sounded like Candace talking. She sounded like she was running her mouth, running everything down, but ain't making no sense at all. She's doing nothing but recapping what has happened already. Let me say it again for my people in the back. Candace is doing nothing but recapping what happened already. So it's nothing about pressing. Candace got a lot going on. Candace talking to them people. Candace being quiet. Candace doing what she is supposed to do because she's in a position that she don't control. Let me say that again. Candace Owens is in a position that she don't control. So she's able to speak freely because they will allow her to do that as such. Nothing else matters. The world we're living in right now, if people like Candace will be silenced because of her anger or because of her quietness. You all can believe in her, you all can believe in me, but at the end of the day, it is what the system is designed to grind. Let me say that again. You all can believe in her or not. You all can believe in me or not. But at the end of the day, it's the system that's designed to grind if you want to be more than what you are now. Hit that like button, subscribe, because we cooking! You finna talk out right now, because you didn't even think what was going on. I got family members in here. Nikki Love, my family. I got family members in here. You better hit that like button, subscribe. You better thank God that you're able to find people to lead because you're not a leader. You're able to find people to lead because you're not a leader. You're able to find people to lead because you're not a leader. And you better thank God that you can subscribe because you're a follower. And I'm here to make leaders instead of followers. Why? Because we are more than conquerors through him that believe. We are more than conquerors than him that believe. As always, family, you know you don't get this nowhere else. And if you thought you did, there's no hating on them. I appreciate that. Because always I want you to have wisdom, understanding, and lightness to get us farther than what we're doing. We're living in a time That straight is crooked and crooked is straight. And the good that's bad is looked at as bad as good. I won't allow my family to go through it if I can breathe and tell you that it ain't right and that it is. But you know, as always, as my family, here at No Filters, with your boy Dilla T and my family, as always, this is No Filters. I appreciate you. I thank you. And as always, be safe, family. Don't worry about nothing. I got you. Good night.